Hello, financial fans. Santa Claus seems to be going to all the parades and the places to make public appearances, but he forgets to rally like he's supposed to this time of year. And this past week we had some movement in the various indexes. And for me, it was still a trip downwards toward a lower number. My portfolio as of year to date, I'm down 15.74% on all my stocks combined. And the S&P 500 finally has moved ahead of me in a downward position. It also is down. It's down 14.85% year to date, the S&P 500. The NASDAQ 100, which is IOO, is down 13.303%. And the diamonds, the Dow 30, they're looking pretty good, even though they're down. They're down 4.78% for the year to date. And the Qs, the NASDAQ stocks, is down 27.29%. For those of you who invested in energy, the S&P 600 Energy Index year to date is up 33.25%, so there's some movement upward, and I'm still expecting December to be a plus month, and we shall see what happens as the weeks go by. It's still early, and we're going to look at four stocks that have some interesting numbers, and if this were a time that was more like normal times, these numbers would be pretty fantastic. And we're going to begin by looking at Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, symbol CM, closing at $42.89 after hours, up a penny to $42.89. That doesn't make any sense at all, does it? But that's the way it reads. And the column on the left, 2/3 of the way down, 52-week range. $39.72 was the low for the year, or for the 52 weeks looking backwards. And the high for the past 52 weeks was $66.24. So it's got a lot of headroom. It could very well start moving up at some point when financial stocks become popular again. Average volume, 1 million shares, a little over 1 million shares trade every day. And the PE ratio, third item down the middle column, 8.77. That's a nice low number for a PE ratio. The forward dividend and yield, 5.9%, and it gets that with $2.53, which is about half of its earnings per share. So it's got plenty of money to spend on dividends, and a 5.9 dividend, which used to be very big, is more like middle size right now, but still that's a nicer dividend than most stocks have. The 1-year target estimate for the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, symbol CM, the 1-year target, $53.12. You move on to DXC Technology Company. DXC is the symbol. The 52-week range, $22.65 was the low for the past 52 weeks, and $39.65 was the high. It closed at $26.32, and after hours went up a penny here, and it again $26.32 is the price per share. The average volume, about 3 million shares trade every day. The earnings per share, $3.06. Forward dividend and yield, no dividend. But the 1-year target estimate, $33.99, and that would be a wonderful thing to be hanging on to when it gets to that number, if it gets there within the next year. Next we look at Stellantis. Stellantis, S-T-L-A is the symbol, and the closing price $14.44. And we look down the first column on the left, 2/3 of the way down, 52-week range, $11.37 was the low, and $21.92 was the high. Average volume, 6,800,000 shares trade every day, and this stock is considered to be undervalued. The PE ratio, third item down, middle column, PE ratio 2.84. That is really low, and that's low is good. Forward dividend and yield, 7.2%, which is a nice yield. Still not enough to keep up with inflation, but that is a nice yield. 1 year target estimate, $21.34 for STLA. Now we look at XOM. XOM is ExxonMobil. I've held on to that stock for a long time. It pays a good dividend. $103.50 was the closing price, and here after hours up 6 cents to $103.56. The 52-week range, it was as low as $57.96 during the past 52 weeks, and it was up as high as $114.66. Average volume, 19 million shares trade every day, and this stock is considered to be near fair value. PE ratio, 8.45. This is a big oil company, ExxonMobil. Forward dividend and yield is now kind of small compared to inflation, 3.49%, and they do that with $3.64 the dividend amount, and from earnings of $12.25 per share, so they're not hurting for money to pay the dividend. 1 year target estimate, $118.42. That would be a nice move upward should that happen. And I thank you very much for watching.